Hey guys, in today's tutorial I will show you how to solve quadratic equations when your first or leading coefficient, meaning the coefficient in front of x squared, equals 1. Remember, solving quadratic equations simply means to find the values of x that work for your equation, that make your equation true. And always keep in mind, for the quadratic equation you will always have two solutions or two answers. Now, we are going to start by rewriting your quadratic into two sets of parentheses, both starting with x, the variable you are given. Now, we need to add two numbers. So, we need to find two numbers that multiply to the last coefficient or the last number, which is negative 15 in this problem, and they sum up to the middle coefficient or to the second coefficient, which is 2 in this problem. Now, we need to take care of the first requirement. So I'm going to list out the pairs of numbers that multiply, that their product gets to negative 15. And we can rule them out later. It's going to be 1 and negative 15. We can flip the sign, negative 1 and 15. 5 and negative 3. Next, negative 5 and 3. Now, we have to take care of the second requirement. So, the sum of a pair has to be equal to 2. 1 plus negative 15. No, doesn't work. Minus 1 plus 15. It's 14. No way. 5 plus minus 3 equals 2. So the second requirement has been taken care of. So we can assume that other option do not work. Now, we are going to fill out these two gaps with this 5 and negative 3. So we are going to add 5 to the first set, and we are going to add negative 3 to the second. Now, clean it up. The first one remains the same. The second one is going to be x minus 3 equals 0. Now, since you have two terms being multiplied and we have them equal to 0, now we want to split it up. We want to break it down into two sets being equal to 0. So we're going to set each of these brackets equal to 0. Pull them down below, so it's going to be x plus 5 equals 0, or the second set x minus 3 equal to 0. So they're basically an equation for x, and we're going to solve them. So remember, we want to move 5 to the right side by doing the opposite, by subtracting 5. So your first x is going to be negative 5. And similarly, we are going to move negative 3 to the right side. So we want to bring it to the right side by adding 3 to both sides of your equation. And we end up getting x equals 3. So this is your second solution or second root for your quadratic. If you like, you could always check your answers by taking them and plugging them back into your original equation and see if it works. Now, let's have a look at the second example here. Say you have been given negative 3x squared minus 6x plus 30 equals 0, and you need to solve this equation. So first of all, right off the bat, check to see if anything can be pulled out in front. So sometimes your numbers, your coefficients, share the common factor that can be pulled out. Look at this. You have minus 3, minus 6, and 30. You could definitely pull out negative 3, since all of them are divisible by 3. So what's left over, what goes inside of the brackets, is just x squared plus 2x minus 15. So all you want to do is just divide all of these numbers by negative 3. Now, We could simply ignore this negative 3 because we are solving the quadratic equation, and we could rewrite just this quadratic being equal to 0. And as you might see, it's precisely the quadratic equation that we have solved before. So we want to split it up, break it down into two sets of parentheses being multiplied together, and actually you end up getting the same solution as previous one.